Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. I'm Prissy Solo. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and being here with me. I know you've been wondering where I've been. This is not the time to explain that because I'm about to hop right into this video. But before we do, you guys, please thumbs up this video, share it with a friend, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever you're into. Just please share this video, because it's going to help awareness and it helps me and it's free. Okay? F-R-E-E. Okay? So don't play. But go ahead, like, for real. All right, that's enough time. All right, so look, y'all, this story time took place this year. I am a middle child. I have quite a few siblings, and my older sister and I, well, actually, if I'm just keeping it real, a lot of us in my family were not really close as much as I would like to be. And I thought, look, I don't want to reach out first. But her birthday's coming up, and I do want to see my sister. It's been a long time, and why not? Like, if I got to be the one out here to break generational curses, like, put me in the field. I'm ready. So I reached out to my sister, and I tell her, like, hey, I know your birthday's coming up. I would like to take you out to eat. My treat, like, you can pick where we want to go. Just let me know. And she's like, okay, well, I want to go on Saturday to Olive Garden in Menifee, and I am going to say where this place took place at and what city and whatnot, because baby, we keep it real over here, and I want to spread awareness. Even though you may be smart enough not to go to Olive Garden, I mean, this still could be a helpful story, because a lot of us, I mean, all of us, we eat out, don't we? Like, so but I was instantly like, ugh, when she mentioned Olive Garden, but I couldn't be like, oh, how about someplace else, when I asked her where she wants to go for her birthday. You feel me? So I did not want to eat at Olive Garden. I had ate Olive Garden one time before, years ago, and I did not like it. And it just left a lasting impression that, to me, I thought Olive Garden is nasty. I still feel like Olive Garden is nasty. I can't cuss. It's too early in this video, so we're going to keep it cute right now. But so Saturday comes and rolls around. My man buys me a breakfast burrito, wakes me up with some food. So I'm like, ooh, thanks, because I got some place to be in a few, and I ate it before I left. So I'm like, good, because I'm not ordering nothing when I get to Olive Garden. And I end up leaving. It was a 2-hour drive to get down there. We had agreed, let's say 2 o'clock. I get there early, and this was a big deal for me, y'all. I really thought I was doing my big one, because I'm always late. Like, I always, even when I'm just the girl that's not ever on time. But this time I was early, and I felt good about that. I was like, like, go you, like, grown up. Okay, sister, like, okay, the little sister, but big sister. Okay. So I, was waiting on my sis, and she had, was en route. And I'm, okay, cool, fine. But one thing I noticed, it was a lot of Caucasian people when I got there. And I'm black. I know some of y'all wonder, I'm black, okay? Stupid. Just high yellow. Even with this high yellow skin, I still was only the splash of color that was in there. And that kind of made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. I just want to put that out there. But I look cute. I'm feeling good. I'm actually was very excited and anxious at the same time, because I had not seen my sister. I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but it had been a really long time since I seen my big sister, and I just was excited. And the waiter comes. I had a young male waiter, and he comes and he's like, hey, can I get you started with anything? I'm like, hey, I'm actually waiting on someone. I'm gonna wait. So, okay, that was fine. He leaves. I have people to the left of me, and I have people to the right of me. I noticed that there was an older couple that got seated while I was waiting, and the woman, like, directly, like, in front of me, and the woman was just staring at me. The older woman, Caucasian woman, was just staring, and luckily she smiled. I smiled back. Okay, so it wasn't really, it was weird, but she broke the ice when she smiled. So, okay, cool, okay. Whatever. So, I was looking good. So I can't really be, acting funny, like, why people staring at me. Sometimes I got to remember sometimes how fine I am, because sometimes I do be forgetting, and I be like, what's the problem? Like, what's the problem? Why is people staring at me? Like, then, gotta remember, like, oh, okay, I am kind of fine. So, anyways, that's not the point. As I'm waiting, the waiter comes back again, and he's like, at this point, I've probably been there for probably like 10 minutes. And he's like, okay, hey, are you sure you don't want anything? Can I get you started with anything? He comes, brings me the drink menu, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try a frozen mango margarita. He said, no problem, it'll be right out. He leaves. I still sit there and wait and whatnot. My sister texts me, telling me she's about 5 minutes away. No problem. I'm anxiously looking for her. Every time somebody walks in, I didn't have a clear view of the front door, but where I was sitting at, if she came in, she wasn't going to be able to just see me directly. So I did want to kind of like keep an eye out for the door so I could, let her know, hey, over here. Well, about another 5 minutes comes around, and then the waiter comes and brings me my drink. And I'm like, okay, thank you. My sister still not here yet. She should be here soon. I'm still going to wait to order anything else. So I get my drink. I'm drinking. My frozen margarita was pretty good. You know how it be, kind of like juice, pretty much, and it was fine. My sister comes. I greet her. We're both smiling ear to ear to see each other. I'm facing towards the door, and she's now facing towards me, so her back is to, the wide area of. I'm gonna stop saying that. I think I made my point already, and I don't want nobody in my comments saying like, what do you have against white people? I have nothing against white people. I'm just trying to paint the picture because went left. Okay. Well, this was right. Went left. Okay. So, we're talking, and once the waiter sees that my sister had came, he's now, oh, are you guys ready to order? So, she orders a drink for starters, and it just, give us some time to look at the menu. I don't know why I start to look at the menu. So my sister ordered, by the way, a spiked lemonade. I don't know why I decided to look at the menu. I guess at that point, because I had been sitting, I had waited on her probably like 20 minutes. I got hungry again. I just not even gonna cap. I just gonna keep it real. Sometimes all the time, I like to eat. I'm just gonna keep it real. So she orders her spiked lemonade. He leaves. We're still talking and catching up, and he comes back. He takes our orders. So she orders, something, whatever she orders. It comes with a salad for the table. I order some like garlic parmesan chicken or whatever like that with some broccoli. Something I felt like, what could you mess up? Okay, it can't be too bad. I think it was like lemon. I don't know. So my sister has had her drink already pretty quickly. So we're talking. I noticed again that the woman, the woman that's the elderly woman that's sitting behind now my sister, is staring at me again. So we lock eyes. She smiles. At this point, I can't even recall if I smile back or not. I just kind of, I'm at this point, my full attention, I'm no longer scanning the restaurant like I was looking at, everything. Now I'm locked in with my sister, and we are catching up. We are talking about family, about ourselves, and, we got a lot of sisterly things to discuss. So her spiked lemonade comes. And she's, I asked her, how is it? How does it taste? And she's like, oh, it tastes, pretty good. So when the waiter came back, I was like, you know what? I'll actually have, what she's having. And he's like, okay, it'll be out soon. So we get wrapped in talking for a while, and I started eating my chicken. Okay. Let me rewind. I had mentioned that they had a salad for the table. That came before our food came. When they gave us our plates for our salads and just for us to have our utensils, I noticed that my plate was dirty and my fork stank. It smelled bad. So I had got the bartender. Why do I keep saying bartender? I might need to go to the. No, I don't. Wow. You might not want to go to the bar either after this story, but I got his attention, the waiter, and I'm like, hey, can you send this back? I actually would like plastic utensils, and my plate doesn't seem clean. He's like, no problem. I'm going to come back out and give you a new plate. They bring me a plate. I ask my sister, I'm like, how's your plate and your utensil? She said, oh, my stuff is good. I'm like, okay. So he brings me a new plate. We both get some salad. And the salad was cool. It was good. When our entrees came, we're still talking. We're eating. Okay, listen. I'm trying not to do too much on Olive Garden, but something's up with the food. Like my chicken, although it was really like it was lemony, and I love like lemon pepper, like that type of just taste. It was cool, but the meat was very chewy. It gave like it was mixed, like the chicken was mixed. I don't know mixed with what, but it was. Listen. At some point, it was cool until it wasn't no more, and I remember just being done and kind of like, okay, I'm gonna go move to the broccoli because I'm not really feeling the chicken no more. So I noticed at this point, my spiked lemonade still haven't came yet. Like, what's taking my drink so long? My sister already got her drink. Granted, she ordered before me, but I had ordered a drink prior to that, and it didn't take this long. It's been a while. So even the bartender, at this point, can I just call him name? Y'all just follow me. Y'all know what I'm talking about, because I'm not going to get it together before this video's over. So the waiter even mentions like, hey, I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm going to go check on your drink. And I'm like, okay. But we were being so chatty that honestly, I think it was him that brought it to my attention that it took so long. And I don't even think I had really was tripping about how long it had took until he had brought it to my attention. I'm like, yeah, it is taking a minute, but we're again so engaged in our conversation and talking that it kind of like slipped my mind. So it was like, it get here when it get here. So finally he comes and brings me my drink out, and this is when shit gets real. He comes and he sets the drink down. My sister and I are talking. I take a sip. Okay, cool. We're talking, and I decided to take another sip. Now, I will say this, and this is where the kind of like I had to take kind of accountability. When I took that first sip, I said, "Ooh, this is a little strong." And my sister was like, "Really?" Like, cause she had already finished hers. She like, "Really?" Like, I didn't notice. Mine wasn't. I'm like, But we're talking. She's talking. So I take another sip. This now is my second sip, y'all. After I took the second sip, y'all, instantly, I start getting like kind of like this feeling like in my pit of my stomach. It was like, you ever drink on an empty stomach and like it instantly kind of like sit in your stomach, and then eventually it's supposed to go down to your toes, and you like, oh, I felt that one, like a shot or something like that. Like it had kind of like did something in my stomach, and I was just like, I said again to my sister, I was like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but this drink is strong. Like I already feel it. Like I'm hot. And again, she was like, for real? Like, you know, because she already finished one. So she probably thinking at this point, I might need to go order me another one. So I'm like, yeah, And so she's talking, and y'all, the whole time she's talking, I'm thinking to myself, I need to go to the bathroom. Oh, I don't want to be rude. She's in the middle of saying something. And what we were talking about, y'all, was very, like I said, deep conversations. It was important to me. And I didn't want to interrupt her, right? So I sit here, but as I'm sitting here, y'all, I'm getting hot. Now, let me describe what I had on. I had wore a full body jumpsuit that was like a tank top like this, but it's a full body jumpsuit that went to my ankles. But like I said, no sleeves. And I had a shawl, a matching shawl. And I'm like, ooh, okay. Come up out the shawl, you know. And y'all, a few seconds later, I had to tell my sister, I said, I'm so sorry, but I really got to go to the bathroom. She's like, oh, okay. When you come back, I'm gonna go. So we don't leave. She said, I got to go too. So we don't leave our stuff. Okay, cool. Y'all, I got up to leave. And when I passed the elderly couple's table, The white woman is staring at me again, and this time she smiles again. Well, I ain't gonna say this time because every time she's been smiling, but this time she speaks. She goes, hello. I said, hi, and I'm beelining it to the bathroom. Luckily, the bathroom wasn't far, y'all, because by the time I made it to the bathroom in the stall, I immediately came about that jumpsuit, because now all I have is the jumpsuit. I left the shawl. So I come about that jumpsuit, and I sit on the toilet. Now, this is kind of tough for me, because So as soon as I sat down, you guys, I had thought to myself, the way I felt, and my first thought was, I've been drugged. That's my first thought, right? But because I'm at Olive Garden, it's now probably, what, 3 p.m., Saturday, broad daylight. As I'm sitting on the toilet, I somehow convinced myself that I had food poisoning. That chicken done did something. So I'm profusely sweating, y'all, and my stomach hurts. I'm profusely sweating. I'm trying to go number 2, but nothing is coming out. But at this point, y'all, I have taken off my wig and hung it up on the back of the door, and my jumpsuit is to my ankles. I'm so hot. I'm sweating my back, my face, my neck, my stomach. I'm sweating like it's not normal. And I'm processing in my head like, oh shit, I don't feel good. And I sat on that toilet for a while, rocking, y'all, taking off my clothes and trying to fan myself and get calm and hopefully hoping that, okay, poop it out, I guess, at this point, right? Like the food, like, you know, maybe I can get it out. But when I realized that didn't do nothing, after a couple of minutes of sitting there, you guys, I felt worse. It got so bad to the point that I was actually considering, you guys, I kid y'all not, I thought about laying on the bathroom floor.
Stupid.
Because standing up to get up just took too much. It felt like it would take too much, and I felt like I need to lie down. I don't feel good. And all I could think about at this time was about my sister and how embarrassing, because I was thinking, like, I have to call the paramedics. I need help. I need an ambulance. Like, nobody's going to know I'm in this bathroom laid out on this floor. And I was thinking about how embarrassing this would be for my sister and how I felt for us to have to end our date, you know, our lunch date, because I am sick and I have to get carried out of here and on a stretcher. And all I could think about is how embarrassing that, you know what I'm saying? Like how embarrassing that is, because I'm thinking like I have to do it. I need help. Y'all, I really considered calling the paramedics and laying on that dirty ass public floor. And that's how you should know I was done. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew I didn't feel good. I can't stress to you guys enough how hot I was. My stomach hurt. So eventually I just stood up, I turned around, and I started throwing up. Now, let me tell y'all something. Y'all probably like, Prissy, we don't need these details, but bitch, I'm gonna give y'all the details. I'm standing up. The toilet, as y'all know, is down. But I'm not crouching down getting close to the toilet. I'm standing up. So as I'm throwing up, y'all, the toilet water is, but I'm throwing up. Y'all, once I threw up, I immediately felt relief, right? Now, I ain't 100%, but I feel better. So much so that after I threw up, I immediately am now pulling up my jumpsuit. I hear the bathroom door open. Now, someone came and tried to go to the stall directly next to me. And I don't know about y'all, but that's a pet peeve of mine. If we're ever, this is just bathroom code. I feel like y'all my people already. You know, even if it's your first time here, if you're my subscriber, of course you're my people off top. But if it's your first time here, I feel like, you know, we already have this type of connection where we can relate to one another, right? So I'm assuming that y'all are like me. There's the unspoken. Y'all, it's October. You know, all the commercials, the ads, the movies these days is spooky season. So, and this was spooky. But bitch, it was May. The unspoken bathroom rule is that if there's multiple stalls open, you go down. You don't go to the stall right next to the person. You go further down as further as possible. And that's what they end up doing. But I think that they end up doing that because, you guys, because I had threw up from such a distance, now there was toilet water on the ground. And I think they saw that and was just kind of like, ooh. But for some reason, you guys, my spidey senses, and I cannot confirm, or I can't confirm this, but my spidey senses had told me that it was the woman from the elderly couple that was sitting directly behind us. For some reason, you guys, I could not see who was on the other side, but I was just like, I got a feeling that this is this lady, right? But anywho, they don't no longer go to the stall next to me once, I guess I'm assuming they see the stuff on the ground. They go to the furthest one, as you should have from the get-go when you notice somebody was in the stall right here. But anyways, I digress. So I'm feeling better now. I put on my clothes, you guys. I put my wig back on, shifted it back on, you know. And at this point, I flushed the toilet and I'm waiting because I had thought that this could have been the lady that was behind me. For some reason, I was like scared to come out the stall. I didn't want to leave the stall until my sister came, and I knew I was going to ask whoever it was that was in the restroom to go and get my sister. I just didn't feel comfortable enough. I don't know if it was embarrassment. I don't know if it was fear. I think it was actually a mixture of both. That I didn't want to come out the stall until I could confirm that my sister is on the other end of the stall. Because I felt like somebody had drugged me, right? And I couldn't think of who. I couldn't think of what would have been the reason. But something wasn't right. Like, something was really off. And so once they had finished up using the restroom, I waited till they directly had got in front. They're walking past. I'm in the very first stall. So now they went to the last one. So now they have to pass me to go out. And I waited till they got directly. And I said, excuse me. Excuse me. She goes, yes. I said, can you please go get my sister for me? I'm describing what she has on. And she goes, oh, yeah, I think I was sitting, near you guys. I think I know exactly who you're talking about. I'll go get her for you. I said, thank you. I wait. And I hear, footsteps of multiple people, not just one person. So I hear, like, multiple people. So I'm like, what is going on? But I hear my sister. She like, my sisters call me Nelly. And she's like, Nelly, is everything okay? And once I heard her, I open the stall. I see that there's two Olive Garden workers at the stall. Two young girls, probably like early 20s or just late teenagers. And they're talking amongst each other at the bathroom. I mean, obviously we're in the bathroom. At the mirrors. So my sister's directly in front of me. And I'm like, yeah, I think I got food poisoning. Now, I know you guys are thinking like, well, you said you were drugged. So where'd you go from food poisoning? You guys, at this point, I didn't know. I had convinced myself. My initial thought was that I was drugged. But because it was so weird, it didn't make sense to me. I couldn't think of why would somebody want to drug me, and two, why would somebody do it here? Like, where did they think I'm with somebody? So it didn't make sense to me that somebody would try to drug me in broad daylight in a restaurant. Because where are you going to take me? How are you going to get me up out of here? What's your reason? Who did it? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I chalked it up to food poisoning. So my sister like, oh, like food poisoning. I was like, yeah, girl, I was in here. I had my whole wig off, everything off. I was so hot, I threw up. She goes, oh, well, you look great there. You put your wig on without looking, whatever. I'm like, okay, she goes, I got to use the restroom. So she uses the bathroom. And as she's using the bathroom, you guys, I'm so, like, skeptical of the two girls. Like, I went and washed my hands, and I'm kind of, like, looking at myself. And she right, I did put that wig back on, baby, without even looking, okay? It was looking, giving scalp, okay? But I was kind of, like, side-eyeing the girls and kind of just like waiting on my sister and just thinking like, wow, just a couple of minutes ago I thought I was out of here. Like, just a couple minutes ago, I was literally thinking about laying on this dirty ass floor and calling the paramedics and having to and apologize to my sister. Y'all, I was so embarrassed of thinking that I had to call the paramedics that I was literally going to tell my sister, don't come to the hospital with me. I'm going to go by myself. Like, just go home. Like, anyways. So, once she's done, we go back to our table. The elderly couple is now gone, I noticed. And we're back to just talking, you guys. Literally, we sat at that table, you guys, for another hour and a half just talking. But at this point, because I had told my sister that I had got food poisoning and I was sick in the bathroom, we both decided we didn't even have to say it. We got our napkins on top of our food. So we have our waiter profusely coming to the table because he's just like, can I get you guys anything else? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You guys, my drink is still full. I took 2 sips. I still have the drink sitting in front of me. And I'm not touching that. I'm not touching nothing else. There's nothing. Y'all, my sister didn't take her food to go. She covered up her food. And we sat there and we talked for another hour and a half. And although I enjoyed our conversation and it was great, in the back of my mind, as I'm sitting here talking to my sister, I'm thinking to myself, could you imagine whoever, y'all, it felt like that game. It's called Guess Who? Somebody in here tried to take you out. And could you imagine how confused they are? Can you imagine how confused they are that they're watching you look perfectly fine? Even though I didn't feel fine on the inside. I felt much better, but I was spooked. They watching you just carry on like nothing happened. I was thinking like God said that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And it's just so crazy that somebody in here did something to me. And I know they're so confused on how I'm able to sit here and have a conversation. And I was thinking like about like how good God is in his grace. But I was also at the same time thinking like, who did it? Why? Why? Like, although I'm thinking like, ha ha, nah, boo boo, you thought you had one, you don't. God don't play about me. But I'm also thinking like,
why would you do that?
What was the reason? What was the reason? What I do? What I did? So, what was the plan? So, we sit here and we talk again. I did not tell my sister my thoughts about the fact that I was being drugged because honestly, I was going back and forth with my discernment. Now, no, looking back at it, my discernment and just what I thought was logical. To me, my discernment didn't seem logical, which I would never question again now. So anywho, somebody's at the door. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Just a little disclaimer, it may get a little noisy because we do have some work getting done on a car. So that was what that was about. So I'm gonna try to hurry up. We almost done anyway. So my sister asked me, hey, we're wrapping it up now. I paid the tab and I don't even make no fuss. I don't even make no fuss. I don't ask them to take off nothing. I just pay for you know, even though we didn't finish, I just pay. So I'm gonna hurry up, y'all. So afterwards, my sister's like, hey, you want to go with me to Target? And I'm like, I'm gonna have to decline. I gotta, you know, quite a drive back home. I'm gonna get going home. Because honestly, y'all, I didn't want to be nowhere around the area. I honestly didn't even want her to go. But, you know, she got stuff she got to go get for her kids. So it is what it is. So I'm like, see ya, love ya. She walks me to my car. We hug. I go to the gas station. There's a gas station directly next to the Olive Garden. And honestly, you guys, I'm going to be honest. All the time I'm at gas stations, period, I'm an alert person in general. Obviously, that time I wasn't too alert with the drink, but I'm an alert person in general. So something, you know, gas station, I hate pumping my gas. I hate having to stop for getting gas. So, you know, I was on it and whatnot. I drive back home. I have a 2-hour drive back home. Once I get to the exit that's near my home, you guys, I get to feeling really, really sick again. Now, I never was at 100% once I left the bathroom, but I wasn't down bad, call the paramedics. She needs some milk. Like, I wasn't like, you know, at that state neither. So when I got to the exit and I get to feeling really bad, I felt like hungry. Like, it felt like my stomach was touching my back. I was really, really, really like starving. So I go to In-N-Out. And y'all know, In-N-Out lines, if you're not from California, if you're not from the West Coast and you guys don't have an In-N-Out, the In-N-Out always has a line. In-N-Out, it don't matter what day of the week you go, what time of the day that you go. In-N-Out, there's always a line at In-N-Out. So I go to In-N-Out and I'm waiting. And as I'm waiting, you guys, I feel like, whoo, I don't feel good. Now, it's not like hot, sweating profusely. It's just like I'm weak, I'm hungry, like I'm starving, like I haven't ate. Remind you, I have ate. I didn't finish my food, but I ate prior to going, and I just literally just had something, and I only had a frozen margarita and 2 sips of this spiked lemonade. So I didn't. To me that was odd. I get my food, you guys. I go home. I make it home by the grace of God. I make it home, and y'all, I devoured my food. I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I probably even made like a noodle after that. Like, that wasn't even enough. I was like starving, and then I was passed out and went to sleep. I wake up a couple of hours later, and I'm just like, wow, like, I'm really tired, and went back to sleep again. Okay, so the next day, I'm perfectly fine. My stomach don't hurt. My head don't hurt. Nothing is wrong. I feel fine. I feel normal, right? So I go on about my day. It's the weekend, Sunday. Monday, I go to work. Now, as I'm at work, you guys, I could not stop thinking about Saturday. Something was just really off and weird about Saturday. So I just could not stop thinking about it. So I began to start looking up, symptoms of when you have like a stomach flu, like, or you, what's it called? Food poisoning. So I'm looking up the symptoms, and I've had food poisoning before. And food poisoning, you guys, and it says this when you look it up too, food poisoning don't hit like that. Food poisoning don't hit in minutes, okay? You will be messing around and be thinking like, what did I eat? Because it'll be so many hours that pass by that when you get food poisoning that you don't, unless you only ate one thing, you don't know what did you bad like that, because it takes hours. And online it has said it takes 6 hours, and I'm just like, okay, that's odd. Also, food poisoning does not just clear up in a couple hours. Sometimes, usually you down bad for about a couple of days, and especially in my past. And one thing about me too, I'm not hungry when I have food poisoning. When I get food poisoning, you guys, or when I've had it, I ain't gonna say when I've had food poisoning, I don't want nothing to eat. I don't want to smell nothing to eat. I don't have any appetite. So I thought that was really weird that I had an appetite so quickly and whatnot. So I'm looking these things up, and my symptoms are not aligning with food poisoning symptoms, right? So now I'm starting to look up date rape drugs, just drugs, roofies and stuff like that, symptoms. And now, as I'm looking at the symptoms, I'm like, yeah, you weren't tripping. You wasn't tripping. Your first mind, as soon as you hit that bathroom, was right. But still, I still felt like, you know what? I'm not going to keep going back and forth with myself. I work at a school. We have a nurse here that went to school, licensed nurse. I'm going to go ask the professional. I'm not going to keep wrecking my brain about it. I'm just going, and whatever she says is what I'm going to be okay with accepting. You know what I'm saying? Because it had been, y'all, just my mind, just I couldn't stop. So I go to her and I explain to her everything I explained to you guys on Saturday. And she says, I'm really sorry, but it sounds like there might have been something at the top of your drink, and that when you took your sip, that you ingested it, and luckily your body, caused you to want to go to the bathroom immediately, and you rejected it. You took it out, you threw it up, and that's why you were able to feel better. She said, but it seems like maybe you were drugged in your drink and whatnot, and you were able to get it out your system quickly. Hence why you felt better yesterday. And I'm like, yeah. She said, because food poisoning takes 6 hours, y'all, verbatim. Food poisoning takes 6 hours. And And here comes the attendance lady chiming in, yeah, food poisoning doesn't hit that fast and blah, blah, blah. So they looking spooked, like, girl, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Like, you know, I'm so sorry, like, wow. And I'm just like, yeah, I figured that. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. And that concludes this story. That concludes this story. Now, what I took away from this was a couple of things. Because I thought that I was going to get some type of reassurance, which I got reassurance, but I thought I was going to get some kind of like clarity after I spoke with the nurse and she told me her thoughts or her opinion on what was the case, right? But it didn't. Like after that, now that I can confirm, okay, I was drugged, now I'm thinking like, why? 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 At this point, I'm not even going to wreck my brain around who. But why? Because I can, y'all, I never thought twice about getting a drink from a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, no, I can't see it. Like at the bar, you know, you go to the bar, I can see the bartender make my drink, right? And I'm very cautious though when I'm at a bar with my drink, it being brought to me, watching it be made. Like I'm very, you know, on it. And honestly, when I think about being like drugged, I think about like nightclub. You know what I'm saying? I think about like, you know, when I go out, you know, wash your drink and stuff. Don't take drinks from strangers. You know the what we all know. I always associated it with like, you know, I guess a club, a bar. Never a restaurant. It's been many times that I've ordered drinks at restaurants and no, I don't see the drink be made. And I'm not thinking to myself, oh, I didn't see this be made. I can't have this. And oh, somebody can potentially do something to my drink for some reason, which is really no different, really, just it's a restaurant. But I've always had that level of comfortability. Like I'm thinking like, you know, it's a restaurant, it's a legit place, it's the middle of the day. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not the same danger as a nightclub and whatnot. And I don't know who. And I think I may know why, because I have a very close relationship with the Most High. I pray on it. And I feel like God knew that I just couldn't let it go. And we're going to get deep. So if the story's over, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you. Please thumbs up the video before you leave. And please share this with somebody for awareness. But if you stay to the end, I love you. And we're going to get deep. And I'm going to tell y'all what I feel like, what I know. And I'm stop doing that to myself. What God revealed to me. Because I had to know the why. And what was revealed to me was, remember when I said I was in the stall, and while I'm damn near dying and I'm feeling sick, how I'm feeling embarrassed? You guys, when I went to go meet up with my sister, it was much bigger than just going out to lunch with my sister. I have so much shit going on in my family, you guys. There's so much history going on in my family, and I have taken on the role of wanting to be the one to break generational curses with my family. And this was very important to me. Seeing my sister and catching up with my sister, even though it was I didn't want to be the one to have to like, damn, why I always got to be the one to reach out. I was willing to do it for the sake of, my sister could have told me to meet her anywhere and I would have been there. Hence why I went to nasty ass Olive Garden. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, but I feel like when I was in that stall, I felt like embarrassed. I felt like, dang, like I came all this way, my sister came all this way, and she's gonna have to, like, we're gonna have to end the day, you know what I'm saying, early, like, and I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. And like, all I could think about is how embarrassing that was for me as the little sister. And this would be my first time seeing my sister in a long time. And you know what I'm saying, how this would like ruin everything and how embarrassed I would be and whatnot, which I should have no reason to be embarrassed. I didn't do anything wrong, but that's how I felt initially. And I feel like that was the intention. I feel like sometimes, yeah, we have sex trafficking is at an all-time high, and that still could have been organ harvesting. That still could have been the why. But for me, when I asked, the clarity that I got was, sometimes some people just want to take you down a couple of notches. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just want to humble you sometimes people just want to embarrass you for their own personal pleasure. for their own. Maybe that would have been very funny for the black girls in there to need to be taken out on a stretcher like she on drugs. You know what I'm saying? How embarrassing that would be for me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was the intention. It was to humiliate me. It was, you know, and on a spiritual level, it was to destroy God's plan for my sister and I, you know what I'm saying, my family and I and whatnot. And here I am. He did not prevail, but God did. Okay, so that's the end of the story, you guys. That's what I took away from it on a spiritual level, on a deeper level and whatnot. Because when things like that happen to you, even though it happens in the physical, you got to be aware of of what you can't see. You know what I'm saying? You guys, I want you guys to drop down below and tell me you guys' thoughts. Have you guys ever been through the situation? If you have, I wish you nothing but healing and peace, because it doesn't go away. As far as, like I said, I was always already aware, and now it's almost like fearful. I gotta go. I love y'all. Until next time, I'm out. Y'all, one thing I want to add before I was really interrupted, I'm gonna hurry up and make this fast, was that a few weeks had passed by and I was cleaning out my purse and I came across the receipt for Olive Garden, and everything was like smudged because it was pretty old, but one thing stood out and still showed. And if I can answer it, I will show you guys. Keep in mind that the name of the drink was called a spiked lemonade. The devil always has to ask for your permission first.